Welcome to NFL Picks. I'm Puma. He's Ice Water. We got some other players in our NFL Picks, the Divine Nine. So we're going to be introducing them throughout the season. We're going to try to select a few of them to come back on the show and talk about their pick. But this is what we've been waiting for, and it's been interesting already in week one. So let's go to the current leaderboard. Me and Ice have an 11-4 record, and we have one more game tonight that we're going to be adding in. It's the Minnesota Vikings and Chicago Bears. So we have an 11-4 record. You have Southside Al, Drake, and Yinzer Mama, who have a 10-5 record. Did really well. Pop is coming in number 3 at 96, but Pop is like, it's only week one, so he's talking stuff already. In number 4, we have Baller at an 8-7 record, over 500. Then we have Windhawk and Dread, and they both had 6-9 records. So hopefully they'll catch up at the, in mid-season, things of that sort. So keep at it, guys. It's a long season. We got 17 more weeks to go. So it's only week one. All right. So what were some of the things that came out, man, you want to talk about with their picks, man, that you got disappointed with? Or I know one of them that you're really disappointed with that I thought was a sure win, and it wasn't.
No, I mean, clearly, I thought the Baltimore game was over. I mean, I thought that was over. Other than that, I'm trying to think. I thought Kansas City would win. I did. I mean, I think everybody else chose Kansas City as well.
Yeah, I
But
think everybody across the board chose Kansas City. Yeah, they chose Kansas.
yeah, and I'm not gonna lie.
Except
I
Southside
chose.
Al. I have to mention that. Except Southside Al. He chose the Chargers.
I thought I was like I said, and I said in the earlier show, I was blown away by the fact that the Indianapolis beat Miami.
When I saw the score of 20-0, I'm like, that's a loss.
Yeah, I'm sitting there going like, whoa. So yeah, they got me there. But other than that, I mean, it was some kind of close games, but probably the Baltimore game because even though I understand that Buffalo came back and looked strong, I think Baltimore just gave it away when Derrick Henry fumbles that ball. Should not even been close.
They look shook
Um,
after that. They look shook.
yeah, yeah. But I don't know. I mean, those are the things that stood out, and we're not even gonna talk about Dallas. Is what it is. So we
Yeah, we
those that
didn't
know
even,
know.
yeah, we didn't even talk about the trade that happened the week before the season. So it doesn't make sense. But let's go into our picks. Let's just go into our picks and get this going. All right. The next game that we're going to talk about is Washington at Green Bay. So I'm picking Washington. Who you got?
I'm going with Green Bay. I just think they showed a lot. That's at home, and I think I like the way that the defense is coming with Michael Parsons. So I like them.
All right. Pop, Southside Al, Dread, and also Baller and Drake picked Washington. You have Windhawk, yourself, Ice, and Yinzer Mama picking Green Bay. So that may be separating a few folks and getting some folks some ground after they lost last week. The next game on tap is Cleveland at Baltimore, and I'm gonna just put it out there. Everybody's picking Baltimore to bounce back. Why are you picking Baltimore to bounce back?
Well, just because I think that they know deep down inside they should have won the game. And granted, I mean mistakes happen, but the way that they had that lead earlier in the fourth quarter, and you just lay down, you got to have some take some responsibility for your transactions for transgressions. So they stepped up, did not, they gave it away. And you can say the coaches that blown big leads, but if I'm Lamar Jackson and definitely if I'm Derrick Henry, I'm looking some kind of way at myself. Like, damn, we were ready to go. We just gave it away.
He had a great game,
Yeah,
great
he
game,
did.
and it ended like that was wow. It was tragic. It was really tragic, and now he's going to be the talk throughout the whole year. Can you guys win the big one? Can you hold on to leads? And I gave a statistic in our squad show that John Harbaugh has lost double-digit leads, 17 double-digit leads since he's been a coach. 17. So it's not always the players, it's the coach trying to put the players in positions to win. That's what's plaguing the Baltimore Ravens. Next game on tap is Jacksonville at Cincinnati. So Pop is going with Cincinnati. I'm going with Cincinnati. Southside Al's going with Cincinnati. Dread is going with Cincinnati. Your boy. Windhawk is the only one going with Jacksonville. You have Ice going with Cincinnati, Baller going with Cincinnati, Drake, and Yinzer Mama. What's up with Windhawk, man? We gotta get him on the show one day to kind of figure this out.
Oh no. I mean, I if you watch the first game versus Cleveland, you thought that maybe Cincinnati would have more points.
Mhm.
But considering what's going on up there, maybe he feels like Cincinnati is just can be up and down. I don't think Jacksonville has enough, honestly, particularly in Cincinnati. Because when you come to Cincinnati, even if the defense doesn't play well for Cincinnati, it's gonna be a shootout.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow is very comfortable at home. If you can't score, your team cannot score like 35 points. You might as well stay on the bus. And that's why I'm choosing Cincinnati because at home, particularly after last week, they struggled in Cleveland and trying to get back on track with
Cleveland kind of had
everything.
their number though. Yeah,
Yeah. I agree with that early on. And you thought this year would be different. I did anyway, but maybe it's just a mental thing. It can happen. But I think coming back after that, they're going to be on a mission to show how many points they can score.
all right. Next game on tap is the New York Giants at Dallas. Everybody is going with Dallas except Yinzer Mama. And maybe because Yinzer Mama is a Pittsburgh Steeler fan and just hates the Cowboys. Maybe she's not going to pick the Cowboys all season. I get it, but I Dallas played really well last week. They really played really well. And if it wasn't for CeeDee Lamb dropping all those passes, they probably would have won that game. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the amount of the limited amount of points that the Giants scored last week, particularly when you brought in Russell Wilson to just do that to kind of get things going, leaves you wondering if that was the right way to go. And one thing I think last week Dallas did is they fought. They fought. They gave everything that they had. Dak Prescott did pretty well. And just a few turns here and there against the defending champions, they could have won that game. So I think with that being said, they'll have the upper hand on the Giants, particularly in Dallas, and they'll win the game.
Yeah, Dak played well. I mean, no complaints about how he played. You know, he played lights out. It's just CeeDee Lamb just dropped, I think, four crucial balls that could have turned the game around. Next game on tap is Chicago at Detroit, and everybody's going with Detroit on that. So we'll bypass that. New England at Miami. Now, Pop is picking New England. I'm going with Miami. I'm gonna go with them one more time. Despite what happened to last week, you have Southside Al going with New England, Dredd going with New England, Windhawk going with Miami. You have you going with New England, along with Baller. Drake is going with Miami, and Yinzer Mom is going with Miami. So your thoughts on what your pick is, and what you think about everybody else picking Miami?
Well, I mean, is that in Miami?
Yes, it's in Miami.
Okay. I mean, they're at home, so you would think that Tua's gonna come around and they're gonna kind of come off what they did last week or failing to show up at home. I agree with that, but I just think that New England, when you think about that series, right? It was always back and forth. And New
Yes.
England, even when they weren't that good, found a way to beat Miami. So I know this is a whole different squad. Of course, I like the head coach, former Ohio State Buckeye as well. And they got a lot of weapons. And what I mean by that is you got running backs, you have some possibilities, and they got a lot of sleepers.
Yeah.
I think they're a team that plays real hard. Like they almost won that game. They should have won the game. The first game when they fell early. I think they lost to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Raiders.
Yes.
They had a chance to win the game. And I think they're the kind of team that if you come in lackadaisical, they can beat you because they're tough and they like to get after it and they want to win. So that's something they did not have before. So that's why I think they're going to win the game. I think they're going to go down there that they've done before. And the Miami coach just seems so damn lackluster to me. It's like he's been hanging on by there. Well, we're doing the best we can. And then, shut up. What? No. So I like the grit of New England. They coming in there handling some business. And if you don't want it, Tom Brady's favorite saying, we'll take it.
Take it. All right. Next game on tap is San Francisco at New Orleans. Everybody's going with San Francisco except Dredd, aka Easy Ed out of Detroit, now Pontiac. But Yeah, New Orleans, it was tempting to pick them at home, but they didn't pick Shedeur Sanders, so they really don't have a great quarterback out there, so I'm not picking them. San Francisco looked decent, and I look at the first three games in the NFL season as preseason games, but I think San Francisco has enough to beat them, and so we're going to go to the next game. Buffalo at the New York Jets. Everybody's picking Buffalo except Windhawk. He's going with the Jets, maybe because of Justin Fields. I don't know. Your thoughts?
No, I mean, when I thought about that game, I like I like the Jets. I got a soft heart place on it. I'm not the biggest New York fan, but I have a soft spot in my heart for the Jets because I think some of the players really come in here trying to play hard. I love Aaron Glenn. I think he's a hard nosed guy, old school dude. Played secondary, defensive back, whatever, right, quarterback. I like his grit, and that's what football. You need that in there. Now, are they the best team? No, but I think they're going to win a lot more games than people think.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, when you play a team like Buffalo, that is a little bit higher class as far as the talent is concerned, and they can be tough as well. And the other part that I have a problem with, even though they just scored a lot of points, I don't think they can outscore Buffalo,
No.
and I think that's going to be the key. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the key.
I mean, the game last night is 41-40. I mean, 81
Yeah, yeah.
game.
And I think Allen is really able to kind of get things moving from that standpoint. And I think that's going to be the problem. Plus, too, they have more experience. If they would have played the Jets would have played Buffalo later on in the season, I might think they'd be better equipped, but they're still trying to figure stuff out.
All right. Next thing I'm going to tap is Seattle at Pittsburgh. Who are you going with?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh because they're at home. They're all excited because what happened. Aaron Rodgers did the thing and what he was doing, but I'm not really buying into it. I think they still have enough of that little wind glow going on. They are showing very that they're tough and they're at home. And I'm not sure if was it Sam Darnold out in Seattle?
Yeah, I don't trust Sam Darnold at all.
Yeah, well, what we saw from Justin Fields, maybe because they were mad at him because he didn't sign. Pittsburgh's defense was getting after it. And I think they'll get after Seattle, and that'll be enough.
Yeah, maybe two or three interceptions from Sam Darnold. So everybody picked Pittsburgh. Pop picked Pittsburgh. I picked Pittsburgh. You got Southside Al, Dread, Windhawk picked Seattle. Windhawk picked Seattle. And you picked Pittsburgh, Baller, Drake, Yenzer Mama, everybody Pittsburgh except Windhawk. So maybe he's trying to shoot for the fences right now and trying to get back.
He might, but I think he used to live out in Seattle too.
Okay,
So
okay. Makes sense. Makes sense. Next game on tap is the Los Angeles Rams at Tennessee. Pop is going with the Los Angeles Rams. I'm going with the Los Angeles Rams. Southside Al is going with the Los Angeles Rams. Dredd is going with Tennessee. Windhawk is going with the Rams. You're picking the Rams.
Rams.
All right. You got Baller picking the Rams. Everybody else, Yenzer Mama and Drake, they're all picking the Rams. I looked at the rookie quarterback, and the rookie quarterback in the last few years is 1-14 in their first rookie game. So I'm looking forward to him doing well, but it's going to be rough being a rookie quarterback in the NFL to win that first game. Your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah. Particularly with the team you're playing with,
Yeah.
because you had. I mean, you could be a great quarterback. We talked about this earlier off air. You can be a great quarterback even coming in with talent, but if you don't have the right people around you in the NFL, you're gonna be running for your life. You possibly could get hurt, but you're gonna struggle.
All right. Next time on tap is Carolina and Arizona. It's Arizona across the board on that one. Let's go to Denver and Indianapolis. Pop is picking Indianapolis. Maybe he's drunk in the day, the David Jones Kool-Aid. I don't know. I should have reminded him he was former New York Giant. I'm going with Denver. Southside side. Al is going with Denver. Dredd is going with Indianapolis. Windhawk is going with Denver. You're picking Denver also. Baller's going with Indianapolis, as well as Yenzer Mama, and Drake is going with Denver. Let's go to Philly and Kansas City. We mentioned on the last show, Kansas City struggles to score 21 points a game ever since they lost their offensive coordinator, the enemy, a few years ago. They're not creative on offense. Kelsey is looking like hey, I really don't have to play that hard. My fiance is a millionaire. I really don't have to play anyway. So, and Mahomes is running around like a kid in the playground, trying to, get the 10 Mississippi and throw it to whoever gets open in the secondary. I don't think that's going to really bode well for them this season. Your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I struggle with this, but then I was reminded by the fact that this was the Super Bowl game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw what Philadelphia did. They dismantled Kansas City, and I was prepared to choose Philadelphia. But the way that I saw the injuries that Philadelphia has on defense, and they kind of struggled to barely beat Dallas, and it's in Kansas City. And I don't think, I mean, granted, you take your hat off to defending champions and whatnot, but Patrick Mahomes don't like to lose, not twice. And to lose at home, I think Philadelphia, I think they're on that honeymoon phase too. I might be wrong. They done won. Okay, they got by Dallas. Ah, yeah, we trying. We coming to Kansas City. We beat them in the Super Bowl. We'll beat them again. It's gonna take a big effort for them to beat Kansas City on. So I chose Kansas City because it's like, say what you want to about Mahomes. He probably start talking to some people, take away some snacks, something going on, whatever they doing. He gonna get some people's attention. So that's why I chose Kansas City.
Well, boss, you're on your own on that one because you're the only one to pick Kansas City in that game. Everybody else went with Philadelphia.
Y'all don't believe in the man. He gonna
So,
show y'all. And see, it takes a real man, it takes a champion to stand on his own.
so if Philly can score 24 points, they'll win the game. Next game on tap is Atlanta at Minnesota. So Pop is going with Minnesota. I'm going with Minnesota. Southside Al is going with Atlanta. I just don't trust Atlanta. Southside Al is going with Atlanta as well as Windhawk. Ice, you're going with Atlanta. Baller is going with Atlanta, and Drake, Yinzer Mama, and myself and Dread, we're all going for Minnesota. So your thoughts on why you going for Indiana? I like the quarterback. I like Penix. I love him. I love him. But I just don't see him getting past that Minnesota defense. And we'll see a little bit of that tonight. Your thoughts?
I do not, and I think we're seeing some of it right now. I do not trust the Minnesota quarterback. And I know that y'all think y'all hating because where he went to school. I just thought it was a lot of hype, and I
I
think
knew
we're
there
gonna
was something,
see.
a reason why.
I'm just, hey, I'm just going to the archives. The
Like, okay, he
archives
played
show.
at that school up north.
I mean, hey, what? He could have went to Georgia. I'm gonna look at the archives. I mean, what? What you? I'm looking at the film. Look, hey, film don't lie. Film don't lie. So, I mean, really, I just think that they have high expectations. He might prove me wrong, but you go from one extreme to the next. You had a veteran quarterback that was not horrible, but you guys were making little moves, and then you said, "Well, we're gonna take the band-aid off. We're not dealing with that. We're gonna just we trust him. We selected him. This is who we want. We're gonna put him out there." But the question is he ready? You think about the wide receiver tandem he has out there. He got decent running back, right? You got these things, these weapons at your disposal, and you're not making it pop.
Yeah.
So sooner or later, you know how it is with wide receivers. They're gonna start looking at you and ask you what the problem is and all the other stuff. And I think Atlanta, though, in this situation, they're not the greatest team, but they fight. Again, kind of like I said earlier about certain teams, they fight, and if you're not careful, I think they win that game just off of that because they're like, you know what, defense is coming up. Penix can get the ball around. They got a plethora of wide receivers. They got a hard one of the best running backs in the defense is lively. And what better way to finally beat Minnesota in a division game, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they down. So
Yeah.
that's
I
what
have
we
to
want.
admit, Penix had my heart thumping at the end of that game because they were coming down the field, and I even had to just walk away because I'm like, okay, maybe they're gonna tie this game up. But yeah, he had me nervous. He had me nervous.
And usually, like you said, they usually have a good field goal kicker. He surprised me he missed that yesterday. I don't think he missed that to get opportunity. So Atlanta, let's go.
All right, next game on tap is Tampa Bay at Houston. And this is a toss-up between everybody who's picking the Divine Nine, because a few of us picked Houston and a few of us picked Tampa Bay. So Southside Al, Ice, Baller, and Yinzer Mama picked Tampa Bay. Me, Pop, Dread, Windhawk, we picked Houston. And I'm looking forward to CJ bouncing back in this particular game. It's going to be a tough game to bounce back from, but I want to see them bounce back from this particular game. So let's pick our last pick. And so this should be an interesting game, because this was usually the game at the end of the season where you didn't care who won. You know, you don't want to pass some time, and these were the two teams out of the AFC West. The Los Angeles Chargers versus the Las Vegas Raiders. This should be an interesting one, because the Raiders look pretty decent. They need to give the ball to, their running back, the new running back, a little bit more. I think he only had 38 yards yesterday. But Pop is picking the Chargers. I'm picking the Chargers, as well as Southside Al is picking the Chargers. You got Dredd picking the Raiders. You got Windhawk picking the Raiders. Who are you picking, sir?
I thought about the Raiders, but I like the way that the Chargers played their first game. I think Harbaugh is trying to really instill some energy in his young player, and I think they just will do well because they have a little toughness about them. And the Raiders are the Raiders, and I think the Chargers are like, you know what? Let's get one more. I think they have just a little bit more energy.
Yeah, and I felt that, if the Chiefs can make bonehead plays on defense to let Hobert get, just ice the game with that run, and nobody there to kind of really, look after him, the Raiders are going to make some major mistakes. They usually do with penalties and miss assignments on defense. So Ice is taking the Chargers, as well as Baller, Drake, and Yinzer Mom. So those are our picks for this week. Check our Facebook page, The Squad, and even Red Note. I got that on there too. I know people in Red Note don't watch YouTube, but there are a few that do. So you can put that on there, and you'll see our picks. I see you out there watching in China. So I see you out there watching. So check us out. We will be back next week. Peace.